Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's masterclass. I'm just going to give it a minute or so to allow some attendees to filter into the chat, and then we will get started. Okay. Oh, people are starting to attend, so we'll just get started. Okay, welcome everybody to the APA and Simtrax masterclass on transforming your AP function for success. My name is Kat Moy. I'm the head of education for the Accounts Payable Association. And I'm going to hand over to Vinod and Janine to introduce themselves and to take over the masterclass.
Thanks, Kat.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Kat. I hope everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, Kat, for the introduction, and thank you everyone for joining the webinar. So my name is Vinod, and I work as a solution consultant with Simtrax, and I do have 14 plus years of experience, out of which 8 plus years I've been helping different businesses in their digital transformation journey, and I've been with Simtrax for the last 2 years. So Simtrax is more into providing finance automation solutions. So we do have a suite of products that can be used to automate your accounting process, like accounts payable, accounts receivable, then meeting the invoice mandate, etc. So I'll be joined by Janine Stapleton, and Janine is our UK office manager and our marketing associate.
Hello, everyone.
So we will start the webinar, and in this session, I will explain how your AP process can be enhanced using an automation platform which consumes, new age technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, etc. So I will start with the agenda, and first I will give you an overview where I will highlight the importance of automating your accounts payable process, and I will cover some of the statistics and figures as well. Then I will speak a bit about the core challenges that are there in manually processing an invoice, and then I will explain how your accounts payable process can be automated using an automation platform and how the automation platform can address the challenges. Then we will go ahead to the solution demonstration where I will use a case study. It's regarding one of the project that we have done for one of our customer. So I will break it down. I will break the case study and I will, link the solution demonstration to individual phases. Then Janine will give you an overview about Simtrax, and finally we'll be having a Q&A session. So coming to the overview, so how much does it cost to manually process a single invoice? So this is based on a report by Gartner, and as per the report, the cost of manually processing a single invoice can range anywhere between 4 to 25 pounds. So here, I'm speaking about a simple invoice with a single page with 1 or 2 line items. So what if you're dealing with a complex set of invoices with n number of line items and n number of pages? Obviously, it's going to take a lot more time. And coming to the cost, it can be as high as even 50 pounds. So how can you tackle this issue? Obviously, you can go for something like outsourcing your accounts payable process to an offshore or an outside vendor, but it's not practical on the long run, and it's not at all safe. You need to maintain an IT environment. You need to maintain a communication channel. Also, you need to go for a separate budget for that, right? So the most viable option is to automate your accounts payable process. And we do have an array of solutions that are there in the market dedicated to automating the accounts payable process. Again, I would like to stress on the fact that you should be really, really, really careful when you opt for a solution, because I just wanted to cite an example. Like 1 year back, I got a call from one of my prospect, excuse me, and they actually wanted to check with me whether Simtrax can customize a particular software, say ABC software for them. So that's not one of our solution offering. And what happened is that they had plans to automate their accounts payable process, and they invested on a market leading product. But during the implementation phase only, they came to know that the product cannot be absolutely customized to meet their requirement. Then they restructured their business process to align with the features and functionalities of the product, and that was a huge failure because it's not the way it should have been done, right? So always go for a custom demonstration or a proof of concept on your environment and make sure that the solution can be customized to meet your requirement. Also, the accounts payable team should be agile, especially in the face of technology outbreaks. And the businesses should make sure that they are not just racing through the journey of automation. They should be well aware of their bottlenecks, their challenges, and what exactly needs to be automated. So in the ongoing slides, I will explain how your accounts payable can be automated using an automation platform efficiently. Now I will move on to the core challenges that are there in manually processing an invoice. And this is based on my interaction with my customers. And around 90% of them, they had issues with three-way matching. Obviously, you're aware of three-way matching, like you'll be receiving an invoice and you need to retrieve the corresponding purchase order and the goods receipt note if at all there is any, and you need to match them, right? And if at all there is any discrepancy, you need to send it manually, route it to your accounts payable manager or your financial head for approval. Obviously, it's going to take at least 20 to 30 minutes of your time even to process a single instance of three-way matching. And again, 80 to 85% of my customers had issues with manually entering the information to the ERP. So if you're manually processing an invoice, you need to retrieve the invoice, make sure that it's not a duplicate one, make sure that all the mandatory fields are there, then manually perform the three-way matching, and finally you need to enter all the information to the ERP. On top of that, chances are that you're going to make a lot of errors, and maybe down the line after 1 month only, you'll come to know that, okay, you have made an error and you need to find a workaround for that, right? Also, around 40 to 50% of the businesses still use a conventional OCR, which is based on template-based extraction. So suppose if you're dealing with 50 different suppliers, obviously you need to configure 50 different templates, which is not practical on the long run. Also, what if you're receiving invoices in different formats and layout? Suppose you're receiving an invoice in a machine readable format like an XML file or something like that. You won't be able to process that invoice manually. So these are the 4 core challenges, but there are a lot of associated challenges as well. Recently, when I had a chat with some of the AP professionals, they told me that nowadays they are receiving a lot of fraudulent emails mentioning that the supplier bank account needs to be updated. These people they're really smart out there, and they will tweak a single digit in the account number, bank account number, and they will send it across to you. Obviously, you need to have an internal process, different levels of approval process to process that request, and technology can help as well. That I will explain during the demonstration. And also, at any given point of time, you won't be able to track the status of a particular invoice, right? You need to either manually check with your colleagues, or you need to manually browse through the invoices to get the status. And what if you're dealing with 4,000 or even 5,000 invoices per month? It's gonna take a lot of time from your side to process those invoices. So these are some of the associated challenges. And now we will move to a poll. So what is your biggest challenge when it comes to processing invoices? So we will give you 30 seconds for that.
Okay, so we're just collecting the responses at the moment.
Okay.
So what is your biggest challenge when it comes to processing it? I'll be very interested in this one.
Yep.
I'm starting to see some of the responses.
Exactly.
I'm still waiting for a couple more, so we'll just give it another minute. So inefficient data extraction by using conventional OCR, manual data entry to the ERP, invoice reconciliation, meeting global compliances, that's easy for me to say, and duplicate invoices and late payments.
I should have included all the options,
Yes. Just got 1 or 2 more people to vote. Oh. And we'll move on. So I don't know why, but it hasn't brought up the results, but I can tell you what they are. I'll tell you what they are.
Yeah.
So we have, out of the people who voted, 33% said inefficient data extraction by using conventional I can't see the rest of the question.
Yeah.
33% of manual data entry to the ERP.
Yeah.
There we go. Just took its time. Technology. Yeah. Hey, there you go. And you can see 33% for duplicate invoices and late payments. So quite an even split across three there.
Exactly.
Is that what you were expecting?
Exactly. That's why I told you, like, I should have included an option, like all the options. So anyway, now I got a fair bit of understanding regarding the bottlenecks, and obviously I will let you know, I will through the demonstration, I will tell you how these challenges can be met.
Perfect.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for your response. And now I'll speak a bit about the automation platform. So here I will explain different stages that are involved in AP automation, or I would like to call it as the characteristics of an ideal AP automation platform. So an ideal automation platform should be able to receive the invoices through different channels. It can be, something like retrieving the invoices from your mailbox, or retrieving it from a public portal, a centralized e-invoicing portal, or it's something like monitoring a shared folder, etc. So what will be the channel through which the business is receiving the invoices? It should be able to automatically retrieve the invoices, after which it should be able to identify the different documents. Suppose if they're in a single attachment, if a single attachment, it's a combination of invoice and a supporting document or the terms and condition, the solution should have the provision to identify and segregate the different documents. After that, the solution should have the capability to assign the invoices to the correct accounts payable user. Say, for example, if you're receiving an invoice from supplier ABC, it should automatically go to, accounts payable executive A or B, etc. And after assigning the invoices to the right accountant or the accounts payable user, the solution should automatically extract information out of the invoice, like the supplier information, the banking details, if at all any, the line items, etc. Based on that, it should retrieve the corresponding documents like the purchase order or the GRN document from either your accounting software or from your ERP. And automatically, it should perform three-way matching in the background. And if at all there is any discrepancy, it should automatically route the document to your manager for approval. And after getting a formal approval, it should directly integrate the invoices to your ERP. So when we speak about an ideal AP automation software or an automation platform, it should be ERP agnostic. It should have the capability to directly integrate with n number of ERPs like SAP, IBM, Oracle, NetSuite, Sage Intacct, Sage 50, etc. And also it should have the capability to interact with your standalone systems like archiving solution, your accounting software, etc. So now we will move on to a solution demonstration for which I will use a case study, and it's regarding a project that an AP automation project that we have done for one of our customer Accents. So a bit about Accents. So Accents provide entire suite or solution which consists of equipments, products, and services that can be used to clean or convert oil and biomass fuels into clean fuels. And they are also into the purification and production of petrochemical intermediates. And just to give an overview about their business scenario, Accents do have offices across the globe, but this particular project, it was implemented for their office in France. And they had two entities in France. The first one, it's a factory, and the second one, it's a head office with two different ways of doing business and processing the invoices. So the factory mainly focus on inventory management, transport, subcontracting, etc. And they deal with invoices with a lot of line items. Also, they wanted a solution wherein their non-PO invoices or expense invoices can be processed. So meanwhile, the head office mainly deals with international invoices. So they do a lot of cross-country businesses, and they also deal with project-based invoices, which consist of both material and services. And also they do deal with a large number of suppliers. And another factor is that both the factory and head office, they were receiving their invoices through a single mailbox. So that was a common one. And they wanted a solution that can, securely direct the invoices to the correct entity and automate their invoice processing. So another requirement is that France do have a centralized e-invoicing portal, and they want the solution to be seamlessly integrated with the centralized e-invoicing portal so that it can directly retrieve the invoices, especially for international invoices. And this is how we met the requirement. We implemented Combly Invoice platform, which is our solution offering. And I'll just give you a high-level overview of the solution. So all the functionalities of Combly Invoice platform aligns with the different stages of automation that I have mentioned before. So Combly Invoice platform can retrieve the invoices through multiple channels. And after retrieving the invoices, it can customize your business process. For Accents, we did verification wherein the inbound invoices were verified, and we did validation, making sure that all the mandatory informations are there. Then data extraction was done, and finally reconciliation. We configure reconciliation in the backend, and finally it was integrated to the SAP. So they were using SAP ECC6. And a Combly Invoice platform is ERP agnostic. So this is a very high-level overview of Combly Invoice platform, and I will explain more about that when I run the actual demonstration. So coming to the technology stack of Accents, they were using SAP ECC6 EHP8, and they were using Microsoft Dynamics as their CRM. They were also using Power BI, ClickView for data analytics and visualization. And across the SAP environment for Accents, there were around 700 users accessing the SAP environment of Accents on a daily basis. Now, for the sake of simplicity, I will break down the project into different phases, and we will start with the reception, wherein it deals with retrieving the invoices from the mailbox and assigning it to the corresponding accounts payable user. So coming to the challenges, actually in the attachments that Accents received in the mailbox, the attachments, it came as a combination of invoices and supporting document. So they wanted a solution wherein the invoice can be segregated from the supporting document. And also they want a provision wherein manually they should assign the invoice to a particular user. So we implemented a provision wherein a user can segregate the documents in the invoice and supporting documents, and also the user can manually direct or assign the invoices to a particular accounts payable user. So like I have mentioned, they were using a common mailbox. So sometimes an invoice will be wrongly sent to the factory. And in that case, the factory should have an option to reassign it back to the head office. So we implemented that functionality also, and I will show it through the demonstration. Now I will stop here. I will stop the deck, and right away I will move on to the solution demonstration, where I will show you how the reception requirements were implemented for Accents. So here, now I'm playing the role of a supplier who will be sending the invoice as an attachment in an email to Accents. So now I'm playing the role of the supplier, and I have drafted an email. And here you can see that there's an attachment, and this is my invoice, which is here the first page, it's an invoice, and the second page, it's a supporting document. So we'll just close it. And as a supplier, I will send it across to Accents, and this is a demo email. So the supplier is just sending the invoice across to Accents. Now, the corresponding accounts payable executive at Accents side should have received an email mentioning that you have received a new invoice and you need to take action, or you need to intervene. So this is the interface of the Combly Invoice platform. And now I am playing the role of the accounts payable executive at Accents side, and using my credentials after receiving the email, I will log in to the platform. And so this is the interface of the Combly Invoice platform, and under mail entry, I'll be able to see all the emails that I have received here for all the two entities. So this is, please note that this is a demo environment, and here you can see that I have received a new email. This is the email ID of the supplier. This, and the invoice belongs to region A or entity 1. There's a single attachment, and this is the subject line. And this is the date on which the invoice has been received. And here I can see something like need review. So I need to intervene and check the invoice. So on the right-hand side, I can see that is an invoice, a combination of invoice and a supporting document. The first page is the invoice. And here I do have a provision to segregate the document. I've just manually marked here that the first page is an invoice and keep the remaining pages as supporting document. Also, I do have a provision to reassign it to the corresponding accounts payable executive, but I will just keep it under my name so that I will be the corresponding accounts payable executive who will be processing this particular invoice. So here you can see an option called forward. So this is here I mentioned like, okay, if it has been wrongly sent over to the factory, they can assign it back to the head office through this option. So there'll be entity 1 and entity 2. I can select entity 2 or the head office and it will be reassigned. So now I will, since it's a demo environment, I will just keep it as region A and I will just click apply. Now again, I will move back to the deck and I will start with the next phase. That is invoice verification. So here we have already assigned the invoice to the corresponding accounts payable executive. So what happens is that in the background, all the information from the invoice will be extracted. So also Accents wanted to implement a provision to check any missing or incorrect fields inside the invoice. And also they wanted to check whether the inbound invoice is a duplicate entry or not. So after extracting the information from the invoices, the solution will check for any missing fields and it will also check whether it's a duplicate entry or not. And using the extracted information, it will retrieve the corresponding purchase order and the goods receipt note, and three-way matching will be performed in the backend. So in order to implement these features, we used artificial intelligence and machine learning based solution to extract data from the invoices with a very high confidence score of 99.99%. And also we configured three-way matching to be running in the backend so that if at all there is any anomaly or discrepancy, the system will highlight it. Now again, I will move back to the demo and I will show you how the invoice verification, which includes retrieving the information, checking for the duplicate entries, and how three-way matching has been done. Everything was implemented for Accents. So now again, I will move to the demo environment and here I will log in as the corresponding accounts payable executive. Over here, I can see that I have got a new invoice from vendor. This is the name of the vendor, Dreamcast, and that is the invoice number which has been extracted from the invoice. And it is a PO-based invoice because obviously the invoice comes with a PO number inside it and it has been extracted. And all the date, along with that, all the line items, the total number, the total amount, total tax, invoice tax, everything has been extracted. And now if you go to the status here, you can see that it's a new invoice and some sort of intervention needs to be done. So now on the left-hand side, you can see the actual invoice. And here you can see that the invoice has been segregated from the supporting document and there's only one page. And all the information has been correctly extracted from the invoice, like the address, the name of the customer, the address, postcode, etc. And likewise, the vendor information has also been extracted. And here you can see that the zip code is highlighted in red. This is simply because the data that the customer is having in their master data or in the ERP, it's different from what is given here in the invoice. So I don't want it to be a showstopper. So as an accounts payable executive, I will place a request to update the postal code or the zip code data in the ERP to the corresponding user who is responsible for updating the master data. Suppose if this anomaly was noted for your banking information, obviously it will be a showstopper. You need to attach this process to multiple levels of approvals and you need to send it across to the corresponding authority who is in charge of verifying it. And we can configure multiple level of workflows for that. In that case, it will be a showstopper. But in this case, it's just a zip code and I don't want it to be a showstopper. So similarly, IBAN number has been extracted, tax ID has been extracted. And here, the invoice information, under invoice information, you can see the invoice number, And all the details like invoice date, subtotal, everything has been extracted. And here you can see a flag like duplicate entry. So for the demo, it's simply, it has been flagged because I was using the same document for multiple times. But in the actual case, if it's a duplicate entry, obviously it will bring up and it will flag it as a duplicate entry. And here, if I click invoice lines, here you can see that you can perform the three-way matching here. The invoiceable quantity is given here and corresponding PO quantity has been extracted from the ERP. Same with the delivered quantity, the invoiceable amount, the PO amount, everything matches. So here you can see that the delivery quantity is 0 because we are not dealing with the GRN here. We are simply doing a two-way matching. So likewise, if at all there is any anomaly, it will be highlighted over here in red. So before generating the invoice, I would like to speak more about the third phase, that is approval. So suppose there's a mismatch when you perform the two-way matching. So Accents in that case wanted to configure a workflow wherein the documents will be sent to the accounts payable manager for approval. And if at all the accounts payable manager updates the purchase order due to some reason, it has to be resynchronized back into the CIP. So we implemented the provision for both the features, like we configured workflow wherein it will be sent, the documents will be sent to the accounts payable manager. Similarly, we implemented an option through which the user can synchronize the updated PO through the Comble Invoice platform. Again, I will move back to the demo, and suppose if there is an mismatch between the invoiceable quantity and the purchase PO quantity, then obviously that is a discrepancy, and the accounts payable executive can send it for validation to the accounts payable manager by placing a new request. So this can be customized for individual businesses, and this is my accounts payable manager, and I will just type a message like, okay, please update the PO. And I will just click OK. Now the accounts payable manager should have received an email mentioning that a new invoice is waiting for your approval. So I will just close it and I will log out and log in using the accounts payable manager credentials. So now I'm playing the role of the accounts payable manager, and I will just log into the system. And over here, I'll be able to see that a latest invoice is there, and verification is required from the accounts payable manager. That's from my side. Here, I can see the validation request. Please update the PO. Now, the accounts payable manager will cross-check it with the PO that is there in the ERP, and either he will update the PO and send a message like, okay, PO updated. Please proceed and generate the invoice. And you will just click send, and in this case it will be approved and the invoice will be assigned back to the accounts payable executive. So we'll just close it, and I will again log in as an accounts payable executive. And I will select the corresponding invoice. Under validation, I could see that my manager has mentioned that, okay, the PO has been updated. Please proceed and generate the invoice so that it is approved and I can generate the invoice. But before that, I need to synchronize the purchase order, right? For which I do have an option here to synchronize the purchase order. Since there's the PO has been updated, I need to synchronize it before generating the invoice, and I will just click here. Or if you want to synchronize the purchase order, okay, and the purchase order will be synchronized. And now I'm in a position to generate the invoice. But before generating the invoice, I just want to cover the last phase of the project, that is integration. So Actions wanted the processed invoice to be integrated to their SAP ECC6, and along with that, the synchronization of the PO needs to be done, like I have shown you before. So Simtrax is a SAP certified solution provider. So we do have SAP certified connectors using which we were able to directly connect with the Actions SAP ECC6. and we were able to integrate the invoices to their SAP. Now I will again move back and I will explain how we were able to integrate with their SAP. So the accounts payable executive now can click generate invoice. Okay. And here you can see that the status is getting changed, like it's now integrating. Soon, within a minute, the status will change, which means that the processed invoice is now being integrated to their SAP. So meanwhile, let me log on to the customer's SAP. Now, this is a demo environment, and for the demonstration, I'm using SAP B1. So this is the customer's ERP, and let's see whether the status has been changed. Here you can see that the status has been changed, and now it has been integrated with the ERP. And over here you can see the invoice ERP number, that is 787. Now we will search for this particular invoice under sales and purchasing. Here you can see that invoice, the draft invoice number is 787, which has been integrated to the customer's ERP. So I will just click on it, and here I can see that this is a draft invoice. So if the customer wants to make any changes from here, they can do that. This is the one and the same invoice, and if at all since the status is it's in a draft format, you can just click edit, and through the ERP you can make any changes. So I'm not changing anything, and I will just click add and view. So the invoice has been successfully created in the ERP. So we have retrieved the invoice from the channel, we have processed the invoice, we have performed three-way matching, and we have dealt with all sort of discrepancies, and finally we have integrated the invoice back into the ERP of the customer. So this is how we managed to automate the accounts payable requirement for Accents, and as per their inference, they were able to save 33% of their effort involved in manually processing an invoice, with a corresponding decrease in the cost as well. Now we will move ahead to the next slide. So there's a second poll. So what level is your business at in the automation journey of supplier invoice processing? Again, we'll be having 30 seconds for that.
Okay, guys, so the poll should be live. So if you can just pop your answers in. So again, this could be very interesting results on this poll, because I think a lot of our members are in very different stages.
Exactly.
Of automation. Certainly just in my background alone and the different businesses I've been on, I could answer a different answer for each business I've been in. Okay, just got 30 more seconds or so for the last couple of people to vote.
Yeah, sure.
It's looking like an even split.
Yeah, again. It's high time that I need
but
to
then on the last poll, at the last minute, at the last minute on the last poll. Okay. I'll bring that poll to a close, just for the sake of moving on. And there we go.
Yep.
Got 50% split for 20% or less, or 75% or less.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's an alarming news, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Again, like I say, it doesn't massively surprise me, because like I say, in my in my experience, I've been in different businesses at different stages, and then just talking to our members that we have, everyone's at different spaces. What's really interesting is we had our House of Lords event last week, and ERP and automation came up quite a lot in the roadmap for 2024.
Exactly. Again, it's same based on my interaction with the prospects. Obviously, they will be in different stages. Like some might have gone for automatic data extraction, but their three-way matching is pending, and some say that okay, they have already automated, but they are still manually entering all the information to the ERP, generating Excel file, etc. So it's just a matter of identifying your at what situation you are in, and then going for the automation. So thanks a lot, Kat, for that.
Yes, and thank you everyone for voting.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you everyone for providing your comments. And now I will move on to the next slide where I will explain how AP team can benefit from automation. Suppose you have automated your accounts payable process using an automation platform. No need for you to retrieve the invoice from the channels, and no need to look for duplicate invoices, and no need to manually check whether any fields are missing, and three-way matching will be done in the backend, and finally all the information will be integrated to the ERP. So there will be less administrative hassle, and you'll be saving significant time involved in manually processing the invoices, which means corresponding reduction in cost can be done. Like I have mentioned earlier, Actions were able to save 33% of their time involved in manually processing an invoice once we have implemented their solution, and with a corresponding reduction in the cost. Also, your operational efficiency can be increased. Also, an ideal automation platform means that it is ERP agnostic, so it can integrate with any of your ERP using API-based integration, or it can communicate with your accounting software, or your archiving solution, or your standalone systems, etc. And also maybe down the line, if you want to migrate your ERP to some other ERP, obviously you can simply unplug the automation platform and directly integrate it to the new ERP within a day or maximum 2, without doing any customization on your existing on your new ERP. So obviously it's going to take a lot of time, and yeah, since it's ERP agnostic. Also, automation solution or automation platform currently uses a combination of artificial and machine learning capability to extract information out of the invoices or the inbound documents. So the advantage here is that the accuracy, the confidence score, or the accuracy of data extraction will be more than 99.9%. For a conventional OCR, which uses template-based extraction, the confidence score is less than 70%. Also, a combination of AI and ML can be used. It can be used to the combination uses algorithms to identify different patterns to aid decision making. Meaning that whenever you receive a totally new invoice, the solution do have the decision making capability to process the invoice and attach it to the correct workflow. So now I will invite Janine to give an overview about Simtrax and our core solution offerings. Over to you, Janine.
Thanks, Vinod. Okay, so if we have a look at this map and try to understand a little bit more about Simtrax. Simtrax has been servicing the market for more than 30 years with over 3,500 customers across varying industries. Simtrax has 8 global offices, and due to the strategic positioning of these offices, we can provide 24-hour support to our customers. On average, we have 12 years of customer loyalty. And it's good to note that Simtrax has technology partners with SAP, Microsoft, and IBM. However, our solution is ERP agnostic, and we do have API connectors so that we can connect to various ERPs, AP systems, IT systems, and whatever technology you are using. So just a little bit about our expertise. I'm just going to go through 4 categories that we specialize in. So enterprise e-invoicing, automate e-invoicing with secure integration in multiple countries while remaining compliant. signature solutions, customize and automate digital and electronic signature workflows for your enterprise. EDI-ready process automation, experience secure data exchanges between trading partners with API. And digital data and document transformation, enhance and automate your business processes. Okay, and this is just a small representation of our customers. Their logos are up here for you to see. There are many more. They've trusted us for many years, and we hope that one day you will join this board too, and we can put your company logo up there. Thanks, Vinod.
Thanks a lot, Janine, for the overview. And yeah, now we will start with the Q&A session. So please feel free to post the questions through the Q&A chat window.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah. Just while waiting for any questions to come in. A really good session, really good demo. Your technology works better than mine when I couldn't even get into this chat.
Yeah, obviously we need to have a meeting after this. Yeah, we will discuss it.
So one question I've got is, how does the solution deal with invoices that don't have a purchase order number? Because the demo you showed was purchase order based. What about those invoices that don't have?
Exactly, I got it. So obviously, a lot of businesses deals with expense report and internal expenses and reimbursements, etc., which won't be having any purchase order. So the process flow will be different for different businesses. So based on my interaction with one of our customer, they actually wanted to create something like a draft copy or a draft PO, which will be later linked with the non-PO invoices. But another customer mentioned that they want to bypass all this step, and if at all you're receiving a non-PO invoice, which will be flagged by the system, it will directly go to the invoice and the payment will be processed. So depending on your workflow, the process or the workflow can be configured. And if at all for non-PO invoices, you want to go for an approval workflow, you want to send it across to the corresponding department, we can do that as well. There are n number of options, and based on your business process, we can configure that as well.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And what would you say is the average time for implementation?
The time frame, it depends upon the complexity of the project actually, because it completely depends upon the different format of the document, then the structure, the layout of the document, etc. But on an average, I would say for a medium-sized project, we can implement the project within say 15 to 25 days. It's just a ballpark figure, but obviously it won't take more than that.
Oh, okay, excellent. Haven't got any other questions coming through on the chat. Tell it's Christmas party season.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll put it down to Christmas party season. I did touch on before when we were talking about that second poll is so part of our House of Lords event we had last week, so I could see from some of the attendees, some of them were there. And you can literally, I won't show you, but I'm literally surrounded by massive flip chart bits of paper because today I've been trying to collate.
Exactly.
We had 10 tables and everybody wrote down on these flip charts what they wanted to see. So in 2024, what our members want to see is sort of more understand of what automation is out there. They kind of want to further their, what's really shone through is like a trend is that people really want to understand
exactly
the technology out there and what's available and have like sort of master classes, how posh of me. Classes like these, even if it's not a system they have, people are starting to want to understand what else is out there. So certainly in the new year, I think we'll be picking on yourselves quite a bit for events.
Happy to
come and show and get super. I think like one theme I saw was having like super users. You can tell the flip charts are literally around us because I keep looking at them like a cheat sheet. So yeah, which it wasn't massively surprising to me that sort of automation and kind of eliminating that fear is coming through, and I think in 2024 it's going to be a massive theme for all of us and especially our members. So if there's no questions, which I don't think there are, no other questions, what I'll say is I'll hand it back over to you to kind of close out and then.
Exactly, and I didn't get a chance to elaborate our solution offerings through the deck, and if at all someone is interested in the solution, or you can directly call me. And if at all you're having further questions, please feel free to drop an email or call me directly on the given number. And I have just given the QR code for connecting it's my link for getting connected with me on LinkedIn as well. So always happy to help you further.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, if anyone didn't catch that, you can just contact myself or Paige at the Accounts Payable Association, and we'll be able to make the connection as well. Okay,
So
well,
once again,
very much.
thank you everyone. Thank you, Kat, and thank you, Janine, and thank you everyone for joining the webinar.
Yes, thank you much everyone for joining. And if I don't see or speak to anyone, have a lovely Christmases and New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm sure we'll all be back on one of these in the new year. Once I've
Exactly.
collated all of this madness. Once I've collated all of this madness from last week. But like I say, we'll definitely be picking on people because technology is a massive trend for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're always innovating, so there's always more to learn.
Exactly.
Move forward and take you to the
just when you
places
think
that you
you've
want to
seen
go.
it.
Yeah.
Just when you think you've seen it all, something new comes up.
Exactly. New features, new additions, everything.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vinod and Janine. That was an excellent masterclass. And yeah, I'll see you in the new year, if not before.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Have a
Bye.
great day. Have a great New Year and Christmas. Bye.